Hello and welcome to Hot Indonesia, my favorite talk show. I'm Dalton Tanonaka in Jakarta. Here is this week's HI Hotlist. Trump card. How important is the U.S. election to Indonesia? We ask Indonesia's former ambassador to the U.S., Dino Patti Djalal. COVID cash will promise government payments reach those who need it most. And fried rice fever. Is McDonald's really putting Nasi Goreng in a bun? Here are my co-hosts each and every week. Sandrina Malakiano, Deputy CEO of Polmark Indonesia from her home in South Tangerang, and Sandiaga Uno, former Vice Governor of Jakarta from his home in South Jakarta. Here is hot topic number one, Trump card. His supporters will do anything for or because of him, even disregard health warnings to wear masks in these pandemic times. But the U.S. president keeps doing what he believes is best for America, and that includes a trade fight with China and dropping out of the World Health Organization. Donald Trump faces an election not very far away on November 3rd, and he has been behind his opponent Joe Biden in recent polls. Dino Patti Djalal was Indonesia's ambassador to the U.S. for 3 years. During the Obama years, he now runs the think tank Foreign Policy Community of Indonesia. Ambassador, thank you very much for your time. Let's get right to it. Now, do you think the upcoming U.S. election is as critical to global affairs as analysts say it is, or does it really matter?
Well, yes, absolutely, because the United States is a superpower. And what American policy, including foreign policy, its direction definitely affects the global order. The United States is the leader of the Western world, and there's been perception that the U.S. no longer leads the Western world, and that alone has reshaped the international order.
Okay, how clear or unclear is U.S. policy now compared to when Barack Obama ran things and with Joe Biden there? How clear or unclear is it now?
Well, with regard to Asia, President Barack Obama was very clear with the pivot or rebalancing policy, right? And that, by extension, placed Southeast Asia at the center of U.S. geopolitical strategy, and that lifted the relevance of Indonesia, because Indonesia was the largest country in Southeast Asia, right? So the policy points were very clear as well with regard to relations with ASEAN, with East Asia Summit, with Myanmar, with Indo-Pacific, and so on. I think in the last 4 years, Trump policy on Asia has been less clear. I think the main policy line is about Indo-Pacific, but you don't know how much ownership Trump has on it, and the segments of that policy line of Indo-Pacific is also rather blurry. And with regard to Indonesia, for example, in the last 4 years, President Trump has not been to Indonesia, and similarly, President Jokowi has not been to Washington, D.C., and I think that says a lot about the relationship.
Yeah, and I think, well, of course, Barack Obama had the roots connection to Indonesia, so that was a little exceptional. Sandrina, first question for the ambassador from you.
As Dalton mentioned just now, Trump is a bit behind in recent polls, and Joe Biden has announced his running mate, which is, as promised, a woman. Senator Kamala Harris. And as a woman, I have this specific perspective. As we know, she will be the fourth women vice presidential candidate. And so far, we've seen all candidates with women running mates have not been able to win any elections in the United States. Do you see in this upcoming election that Kamala Harris, now that she's been appointed as VP candidate by Joe Biden, will she be a positive factor in this election? Or in contrary, would she be a liability for Biden, who is recently winning in polls?
Well, I think the history of presidential elections in America suggests that the choice of vice presidents don't really matter too much. doesn't add or subtract substantially, or maybe a little bit. I mean, if you were to line up the list of American vice presidents, you'd be surprised how many vice presidents you don't know about, right? So it's about the president, who the presidential candidate is. But that said, the choice of Kamala Harris, because she is a woman and she's also a non-white person, someone with Asian and Jamaican background, as you said, that really sharpens the contrast with the Trump ticket, right? If Trump is male and white, right? Trump and Pence, right? The Biden ticket is male and female and non-white, right? And I think in today's national psychology in the U.S., that choice is really important, especially with the Black Lives Matter movement and so on and so on, right?
Sandy, question for the ambassador?
Well, thank you, ambassadors. First, congratulations on the foreign policy community of Indonesia. Really vibrant, young Indonesians, very interested in foreign policy. It's a great work of you, ambassador. You mentioned earlier about this regional geopolitics and the impact on the U.S. elections have on future relationship, not only with China, but also with Southeast Asia, in particular Indonesia. And also, I think there's a lot of interest from Indonesian diaspora, students, migrant workers. My daughter is also in the USA. But I want to hear your view in terms of, would that have any impact on the investments coming from the US into Indonesia? In particular, we are seeing some investments from the US, but it has not been the pace that we have seen in the past.
First, I think Joe Biden will not rush into the TPP. As we know, President Trump left Trans-Pacific Partnership, took America out of it, and it was hardly negotiated it was a hard negotiation by Obama. But the political conditions does not make it possible, in my view, for Joe Biden to re-enter the TPP. I think not in the next 2 years at least. And there are speculations that he will take low-hanging fruits, which is free trade bilateral treaty, perhaps with a small country, a small economy, Taiwan probably, right? So that's where he will go. I think America will still be a champion of free trade and globalization, although probably with a cautious tone. And whether or not American investment will be in greater number to Indonesia, it's really a lot of the policies that we undertake, really. I know there's been a lot of statement in recent months about American companies relocating from China to Indonesia. But in honesty, that's not really happening. I've been meticulous in asking around which companies exactly, right? And I'm not getting a clear answer. And my American company friends say, look, this is a business-to-business decision. It's not a government that the White House can dictate to business, right? So, but the bottom line, I think, still, in my view, Biden presidency is a lot better for the world economy, and it will be less America first, and America will, I think, assume a more traditional foreign policy and global economic engagement. And I hope Indonesia is smart enough to extract the benefits from such a policy.
Ambassador, to wrap this up, can you give us a prediction? Who do you think will win on November 3rd?
Oh, Biden, no doubt about it. Biden, Kamala. I'm betting my house on this. If Sandy wants to join the bet, please do. Yeah.
I'm not good at political predictions.
So, let's see what happens on November 3rd. Former ambassador to the U.S., Dino Patti Djalal, thank you very much for joining us here on Hot Indonesia.
My pleasure.
Okay, Hot Indo will continue shortly with COVID cash. Will everyone get the emergency money promised by the government? You're watching Hot Indonesia with Sandrina, Sandy, and me. Here's hot topic number 2, COVID cash. The government says it's time to put its money where its mouth is to help the people. So, beginning next month, those making less than 5 million rupiah, or about $345 a month, will get cash transfers of 600,000 a month for 4 months. This stimulus injection designed to help household spending that fell 5.5% in the second quarter over the year before. Now, the head of the COVID recovery team, Eric Tohir, says the focus is to now how best to disperse the money to the nearly 14 million eligible workers. Sandy, are you confident your good friend and his team will get this done?
I hope and I pray that we would see better results this time. We need to definitely accelerate the pace of the absorption of this very good policy. It's absolutely critical, very, I would say, very critical moment for us to turn around the situations, because I sort of like, and the data that we have been collecting, it sort of like suggests that we have reached rock bottom. So in order for us to recover quickly and to do an economic turnaround, we need to beef up the sectors that have been the locomotive of our economic growth, which is consumption. And this policy will definitely help the target in reach, which is the middle class and middle to lower class segment. We have challenged in the database previously to target some of the lower income brackets. But these around 14 million workers, we have the data by name, by address, and the disbursement would really be, I guess, using the fresh sets of data. And I was just speaking with the Minister for Industry, Pa Agus Kartasasmita, who said that there is also a silver lining in this COVID, that every single ministers is actually ramping up their data and coordinating and synchronizing the data.
Sandrina, you know, and Sandy, I got a stimulus check from the U.S. government, believe it or not, to my surprise. And big or small, it helps. They track me down here in Indonesia. Sandrina, what kind of impact do you think this money will have?
Should it go to those who really need it? Should it be properly distributed and evaluated, monitored? Then it would give a great impact. But as I underlined in the beginning of my statement, one of the most evident weakness in public policy management in Indonesia is the policy marketing and implementation. Policies are basically made with the lack of firm and genuine public interest. In the beginning, the drafts would look so good, but during the implementation, it becomes a huge question mark, because another important factor is that the policies are not supported with the proper infrastructure to enable a rapid and proper implementation of the said policy. And the rate of success here in Indonesia of a certain policy is sadly enough based on the distribution of funds. You were asking about the funds. Do they really reach the people? Here, the success rate is if the money has been distributed, but it should be actually seen from the end users. Does it really get to those who need it the most? And there is no evaluation from that side.
There should be no excuse in this distribution because, as Sandy mentioned, you know, they're in the system. So somebody's got to answer to this if it doesn't happen. Sandy, real quick, you know, overall, as you know, the overall economy shrank 5% in the second quarter from the year before. Now, these COVID transfers will help at the grassroots level. Real quickly, Sandy, what's needed in the bigger economic picture to help us make this turnaround?
First, just on Sunday last week, I had a bicycle time with Minister of Trade, another Agus Suparmanto, and he said that based on the data that he has, this minus 5.32% is basically capturing the most difficult time of this COVID pandemic. So what would be needed is how we could boost consumptions, how could we revive SMEs, the household economy in terms of providing them with income during this difficult time, as well as making sure, and this is absolutely critical also, to have stable food and cost of living prices that would be affordable to the people. And if we could maintain these two things, which is like jobs, or when you don't have jobs, you have this unemployment benefits like the one that is being pushed now. The second thing is you need to maintain stable and affordable cost of living. Once you have that, then we hope that we are calling actually now for the third quarter to be hopefully between -2 to +1% type of economic GDP growth. And this is something that is making everybody optimistic.
Okay, Sandrina, one last quick question and quick answer, please. You ran a restaurant that unfortunately had to close because of this situation. You have a political marketing company that should get busy again as elections here gear up toward the end of the year. Are you feeling a little better about the situation now or no?
50-50. Personally, I'm quite worried because as we know, people are letting down their guards now, and the number of COVID cases continue to increase. And we have to face the upcoming elections no matter what, and people are going down the streets. We have to conduct surveys now, and it's more costly now to do things properly with the higher medical standards, the protocols that we have to abide to. So yeah, business-wise, it's still very tough, and I do believe that things are going to be quite hard. The challenges will be huge until probably next year because, as you said, I had no support. As a business owner, so our business, the cafe collapsed. We decided that's the best option right now is to close it down and see what's going to happen next year.
Still a bit more tough times ahead. Now, Hot Indo will continue shortly with fried rice fever. Would you try a Nasi Goreng burger? You're watching Hot Indonesia from Jakarta. Hot topic number 3, fried rice fever. It's one of Indonesia's signature dishes. Nasi Goreng tosses rice together with meat, veggies, and spices to create a satisfying meal. Now, the global fast food giant McDonald's has come out with its latest localized menu item, the Nasi Goreng burger. But my friends, if you're expecting spicy rice between 2 buns, you'd be disappointed because, as you may know, guys, it's still a beef patty, but just with the fried rice spices mixed into the patty or onto the patty that they're selling. Are you buying, Sandrina?
Out of curiosity, people might buy it. Not me personally, because I do not eat red meat, but it does intrigue my curiosity, Dalton. All their new menus, thumbs up to their effort to celebrate the upcoming Indonesia Independence Day. But my daughter did try their new McFlurry teh botol, a combination of a very common and widely liked drink in Indonesia, the taste of teh botol, blended into the McFlurry soft ice cream with several different toppings on top, kue jadul and Oreo, if I'm not mistaken. They did try. My daughter liked it, but a friend of hers, this friend of hers likes McFlurry, likes teh botol, but the two of them together, not a choice.
Besides the Nasi Goreng burger, they have the Nasi Goreng burger special, which they throw in the egg on top. I don't know if that'll sell more. Sandy, I wonder, do you think a sandwich with actual fried rice in it, which what I thought it was, would that sell at all, or am I being silly?
This is probably the second or third time that McDonald's is making to Hot Indonesia, and they have not put an ads here, and they're getting exposures.
Yeah,
so I'm going to call
Pasuko,
Pasuko, who holds the local licenses. They need to support us here in Hot Indonesia. But it's we gotta tip our hat to the team there that it's really innovative global brand with local wisdom. And when you talk about Nasi Goreng, probably rank first or second after rendang, or either rendang first or Nasi Goreng as the people think of the Indonesian culinary experience. So I think it's delicious, Nasi Goreng as it is. I have not tried the beef patty or with eggs on top of it, but at the end of the day, it's the market.
I would try it if they had fried rice in the bun, but that's me. Because you know what? The big localized McDonald's item in my hometown of Honolulu, Hawaii, it's scrambled eggs, rice, and Spam. So that's our version of the Nasi Goreng burger. Okay, got to move on, guys. Got to move on. Feedback time now. A couple of posts from our YouTube page. Faida said, "Not many know about this educating channel. Should share it more. Well, please help us spread the word, Faida." And Shafjat commented simply, "Cool show." Appreciate that. Here's how to contact us with your feedback. Email at hotindo@theindonesiachannel.com or comment through our Hot Indonesia or Indonesia Channel Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube pages. Final word, Sandrina.
I read in this recent article published by Axios that Trump suggested that some men feel insulted by Joe Biden's promise to choose a woman as his running mate, and Joe Biden did. He just announced it. And Trump said he roped himself into a certain group of people. Some people would say men are insulted by that, and some people might say it's okay. As a woman, I personally have been insulted and offended a number of times by Trump's actions and words, but I have no voting rights, so that doesn't count. I just hope that the American people will make the right choice, and I hope it's not Trump.
Okay. Final word, Sandy.
Well, a few days ago, government announced minus 5.32% as the economic contractions. The PDB, or we call it the GDP, that is showing really at the rock bottom. But recently, I got a new data set that PMI, which is the Purchasing Managers Index, have shown some really, hopefully, very good light at the end of the tunnel. And that light, hopefully, it's not the oncoming freight train. So guys, hopefully, third quarter will be much better, and if the government focus on the household economy as well as the SMEs, and also revitalizing the corporate sectors, and also preparing for the banking system for massive restructuring, I think we are go for our economy.
Yeah, hopefully at least a little up like this, a little bit up. Okay, and my final words. Indonesia celebrates its independence on Monday, August 17th. It commemorates the declaration made in 1945 following the World War II defeat of Japan. One important principle of a healthy country is the right to freedom of opinion and expression. So it's very troubling when those who speak out against perceived wrongs are targeted by whoever government runs their country. The Philippines and Maria Ressa, and now Hong Kong and Jimmy Lai. We must work to not let that happen here, to prevent persecution from turning into prosecution. And that is Hot Indonesia for this week. For Sandrina Malakiano and Santiago Uno, I'm Dalton Tanonaka. Thank you for watching. Please join us again next time.